All right, welcome to the tutorial video. We're gonna go over all the exercises that you need to learn how to go through this program. We're gonna go over how to progress when it's time for you to progress, how to make a couple regressions if you're battling an injury, and also just, the essentials of what this workout entails and how to make the most out of it. So jumping right into it. When you look at the workout, there are 3 exercises that we need to know. And the first one is what we call an inchworm plus a T-spine rotation. It's really simple. All you're gonna do is you're going to stand and walk your hands out, bending over, walking your hands out into a push-up position. Now from here, make sure that your feet aren't touching. And all you're gonna do is you're gonna post on one hand and you're gonna reach up to the sky with the other. Reach up to the sky with the other. And then walk your hands back in, keeping your legs straight as you do. And that's 1. Now on the sheet, you'll see that it says to do that 3 times. Inchworm to T-spine rotation, super simple. But what it does is it's gonna help open up the hips, get a little bit of a hamstring stretch in there, get a ton of core activation and open up your shoulders and just get some nice mobility. Get everything flowing nice and loose. Then at the end of the workout, you're gonna see that you have push-up plus Spider-Man. Now, what that means is that when we do our push-up, we wanna make sure that we're in a good push-up position. The way that we set up for that is laying down on the ground, making sure that our forearms are nice and vertical, right? Our feet are just outside of our hips, a little bit around shoulder width apart, maybe a little bit wider is okay. And then from here, we're gonna press up, holding our body in a nice plank position. So the push-up plus Spider-Man is a push-up, and then we're going to step one foot up next to our hand, step it back. Step the other foot up to the hand, dropping those hips down, step it back. Push up, step, step, push up, step, step, like so, for 5 reps. Now that's the end of the workout. So we start off with that inchworm and T-spine rotation. We end the workout with the push-up and Spider-Man. The reason for this is that we want to incorporate a full body mix of mobility and strength work, right? Just a little bit of taste at the beginning and at the end to make sure that at the end when you walk away from it, even though you're sweating, you got your heart rate up and you've done an incredible amount of work, you're still getting a little bit of mobility in there. Now, in between, we are going to be doing our burpees, and there are 4 variations of the burpees. We have our most basic level, and we progress from there. The very basic level is simply standing here. We reach down, place our hands on the ground, kick our feet back into a push-up position, and then bring our feet back up, stand up. Reach overhead, so we get nice and tall, get a little bit of a calf stretch in there. All right, boom. Stand up on our tippy toes to make sure that we stand all the way up. Like so. Now, reason for this is get our whole body working, right? We're moving our body. When we kick back, we're not letting our hips sag, we're keeping our core tight. We're not jumping from standing right down into that push-up position. We wanna make sure that we're being nice and controlled and placing our hands on the ground, kick back, and up. That is our basic level burpee. So if you're starting off and you're a little bit out of shape, or you haven't done burpees in a while, start with that. Super simple. Level 2 burpee, really simple. All we do is we add one element of the push-up. So we start standing up, bend at the waist, hands on the ground, kick back into that push-up position, do a push-up, come back up, stand up onto our toes, like so, right? So that is our level 2 burpee. Once you've done the program with the level 1, go ahead to level 2. Or if you're someone who is in shape and feels pretty confident, you do a lot of push-ups, feel good in your technique, move on to that level 2 to start. Now, the 3rd level is we're gonna drop the push-up, but we add a jump at the top. So we go back to kind of that basic level burpee, but instead of standing up onto our toes, we actually jump up off the ground. So what that looks like is like so. Bend over, hands on the ground, kick back, stand up, jump up in the air. Again, real basic. At this point, right, if you have experience doing burpees, go ahead And you can start with that one if you like. However, if you happen to be overweight, right, you need to really burn off a lot of fat, you haven't done any jumping, haven't been doing anything athletic in a while, let's start with like our base level or level 1. Just kind of working our way into that, because all of those jumps do add up to a lot of impact on the ankles, especially the knees and even the hips, kind of into your back. And we don't want to jump right into that and risk an injury. So it's always better to start a little bit lighter, a little bit easier, get more reps with that, and then work your way up as your body gets more and more conditioned to it. Now, the final level, master level burpee, is we put it all together. That is, we kick back, we do the push-up, we stand up, we jump in the air, rinse, repeat. Basic, what you're probably used to seeing done with burpees at most gyms. However, in this case, we are going to be strict with our technique. We're not letting our hips sag and just falling down, collapse into the ground to touch our chest to the ground. We want to make sure we get a good, proper push-up out of that rep, right? We're doing this, let's get something out of it. Let's make sure that we're doing it right so it reinforces anything else that we're doing for our fitness. So what it'll look like is standing here like this, hands on the ground, kick back, push up, stand up, jump in the air. Hands on the ground, kick back, push up, back, in the air. Now you notice when I kick back into my push-up, my core is tight, my glutes are flexed. I'm not leaving my ass way up in the air, I'm not sagging it, I'm keeping my whole body strong, head to heel, strong as steel. I'm getting controlled, I'm getting a full range of motion so that at the bottom of that push-up, my elbow is a little bit above my shoulder. I'm not going super, super deep to touch chest to the ground. You don't really need to do that. You just need that elbow above the shoulder and then drive from there. So those are the 4 levels of progression for the burpee. Now, if you cannot do burpees, if you have, say, a shoulder injury, a very easy thing that you can do is you can do air squats instead. And the air squats are really simple. You just take a nice basic shoulder width stance. You're going to push your knees out to the side, sit straight down, reach your hands in front of you so that you have a little bit of a counterbalance. Get your hips below your knees, like so, and back up. Like so. Easy. So you take the time interval that you would be doing the burpees, do air squats instead. And if air squats seem super easy, you're not ready for burpees, but you're not really getting anything out of the air squats, so you go through a whole cycle of it, you're like, all right, this is cake, done deal. Switch to reverse lunges. So in place, all you do is you just take a step back with one leg, touch that knee to the ground nice and easy, a little bit of forward knee angle here, and stepping up. We're not bouncing our knee off the ground, we're just taking a nice easy step back like so. Our chest, our torso stays vertical. So from the side, we're just getting a nice step back, and you'll notice my knee is getting in front of my foot. So I'm working on my ankle mobility here, keeping my hips nice and stacked right over my center of balance here and coming back up. Not taking a huge step back, right? We're taking a nice controlled step back, putting that load into our leg here. So the quad, glute, hamstring are all doing work, and we're staying vertical with our torso the entire time. So once you go through the air squat, you can move on to reverse lunges. Now, progression. When you go through this workout, you're gonna start off with a time interval for the burpees. Whatever exercise you swap in or out, whatever, but we're gonna say burpees for the ease of explanation. Start off with a time interval of OTM or on the minute. This means you set a timer. That timer, when it goes off at the top of the minute, very beginning, you're gonna do as many reps as you can with great technique during the time interval. If it's 15 seconds, you got 15 seconds of work. 20 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever the second interval is, you're gonna do as many reps as you can for that interval. Now the time changes each and every workout, so you gotta pay attention. But you got 30 days in a row to get used to it and continue progressing. Don't worry about exactly how many reps you're doing during that time. Just focus on getting as many as you can in with great technique. The reps might fluctuate a little bit day to day, but that doesn't matter as much as you're getting the work in for that time, right? The time duration is the piece that matters. So the first half of this progression, the first 2 weeks, is all on the minute, OTM. After that, we progress to on the 30, meaning the time interval changes, but you're going every 30 seconds. So instead of an entire minute of, say, 20, 25, 30 seconds of work and then 40 to 30 seconds of break, you're gonna have maybe 10 seconds of work, 20 seconds of break, or in some cases, 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of break, maybe even 25, 5 seconds of break near the end when you're really getting into great shape with that exercise, right? So that's the progression as you go through it. And that is why you wanna pick the kind of an easy version to start with. So if you think, oh, okay, yeah, I totally got it if I'm gonna do my burpees with the jump, take a step back and be like, you know what? Let me go through a whole cycle doing it with the push-up first and get the most out of that and build up that base before you can go back through. And you can constantly rotate through this, right? Or if you go through all of the cycles and you're like, hey, burpees are really easy. You know what? Let me do this with lunges, see what happens. Let me do this with push-ups, see what happens. You got options here, but the key is that you're getting that work in. And you start every workout with your inchworms and T-spine rotation, and then finish every workout with the push-up to the Spider-Man stretch. So that is how you go through this entire workout. The key is that you make the most out of the time that you're training because it's such a short time. We got 7 minutes to get as much work in as we can, so make it count. First minute, get your inchworms in. Last minute, get the push-ups and the Spider-Mans in. But everything in between, balls to the wall, fucking get after it, get the burpees, the lunges, whatever it might be, and get it done.